Good morning, friends, dreamers, and doers. Today I want to talk to you about something so simple. It might seem almost too easy, yet so powerful it can change your life forever. 1 hour a day, just one focused hour every single day. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, once said, "Success comes to those who become success conscious." That consciousness of your mindset, your purpose, your drive can be shaped in just 1 hour a day. We all get the same 24 hours. But it's not about how many hours you have. It's about how you use them. Every day we wake up with 24 hours ahead of us, 40 minutes filled with possibilities. Yet so many people move through life aimlessly, reacting instead of creating, existing instead of truly living. Napoleon Hill taught that every success story starts with one thing: a definite purpose, a clearly defined goal, a reason why. That is where your power begins. And 1 hour a day, just one intentional hour, can be the key to discovering and defining that purpose. Imagine what would happen if, instead of checking your phone, turning on the TV, or rushing into your day without thought, you gave yourself one sacred hour. An hour to think, to reflect, to ask yourself the most important questions you'll ever face. What do I want from this life? What excites me? What am I willing to work for, sacrifice for, fight for? These are not questions you answer in a few seconds. They require silence. They demand honesty. They call for courage. Giving yourself that hour creates space for clarity to emerge from the noise. This hour is not about finding a quick answer. It's about reconnecting with yourself. Most people have never taken time to reflect deeply on what they truly want. They live by default, not by design. They follow paths handed to them by society, family, or fear. But your purpose, your true purpose, isn't something you stumble upon by accident. It's something you uncover through consistent self-inquiry. It's already inside you. Your job is to listen. In this hour, you might journal, you might meditate, you might sit quietly and let thoughts rise to the surface. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is the doorway to discovery. Over time, that hour becomes your anchor. It becomes a place where your vision takes shape. You begin to see what matters to you, what kind of life you want to build, what kind of legacy you want to leave behind. When you know your purpose, decisions become easier. Energy flows more freely. Discipline becomes natural because now you're working towards something real, something meaningful. That single hour a day becomes the foundation of everything else. It becomes the difference between drifting through life and driving toward your destiny. So don't underestimate the power of 1 hour. Use it to get quiet, to go inward, to ask the questions that really matter. Because when you define your purpose, you define your future. And that future begins the moment you choose to take that hour seriously. Every thought you think, every word you say, and every belief you hold is programming your mind. Whether you're aware of it or not, your subconscious is always listening, always recording, and always acting on the instructions you give it. Napoleon Hill called this process autosuggestion, the practice of feeding your mind with repeated thoughts and affirmations until they become a part of your reality. 1 hour a day dedicated to this powerful technique can reshape not just your mindset, but the entire course of your life. Autosuggestion is not about wishful thinking or blind optimism. It is a deliberate, focused practice of planting the seeds of belief and success into the deepest parts of your mind. Most people spend their days repeating negative suggestions to themselves without realizing it. I'm not good enough. I always fail. I'm too old. It's too late. Over time, these thoughts become internal truths, limiting their actions, their confidence, and ultimately their results. But what if, for 1 hour each day, you flip the script? This hour becomes your time to intentionally speak new truth into existence. You can write your goals as if they've already been achieved. You can stand in front of a mirror and declare your strength, your worth, your unstoppable focus. You can visualize the life you want with vivid clarity, feeling the success, seeing the results, and stepping into the identity of the person who makes it happen. Repetition is the key. The more you say it, the more you believe it, and the more you believe it, the more your actions begin to align. During this hour, you are rewiring the patterns that have been holding you back. You're replacing fear with faith, doubt with determination, and confusion with clarity. The subconscious mind doesn't judge. It simply accepts what it is given most often. So if you consistently feed it empowering thoughts, it begins to operate from those beliefs automatically. Think about the transformation that becomes possible when your mind is working for you, not against you. Confidence grows, focus sharpens, fear loses its grip, loses its grip. You start to take bold steps because your inner voice tells you it's possible. And that voice was shaped by your daily practice. Auto-suggestion isn't magic, but its effects feel magical. It works because you work it. 1 hour of focused, positive mental conditioning each day doesn't just change how you think, it changes who you become. That's the true power of auto-suggestion. And it all begins with the decision to reclaim your mind 1 hour at a time. Knowledge is everywhere, but not all knowledge leads to power. Napoleon Hill made a powerful distinction in think and grow rich. General knowledge may fill your mind, but specialized knowledge fills your bank account, fuels your passion, and builds your legacy. One of the most transformative things you can do is devote 1 hour a day to gaining knowledge that is directly connected to your goals. This isn't about memorizing random facts. It's about developing skills, insights, and understanding that give you a unique advantage in your chosen field. In today's world, access to information is virtually unlimited. But success doesn't come from information alone. It comes from focused learning, from diving deep into a subject until you become an expert, until your knowledge can be translated into action, results, and impact. Whether it's learning how to invest, master a trade, build a business, or become a leader in your industry, 1 hour a day can put you on a path that few are willing to walk. Consider how much progress you could make if you studied one subject with complete focus for an hour every single day. Every single day. That's 365 hours a year. Over 9 full work weeks of learning. You could master the fundamentals of any craft. You could study the best in your field. You could learn from books, courses, interviews, podcasts, and even mentorships, all within that one daily hour. Specialized knowledge is what separates those who merely survive from those who thrive. It's what gives you confidence to make decisions others are afraid to make. It allows you to see opportunities others miss. It builds the kind of competence that cannot be ignored because when you truly know your subject, people notice. Doors open, clients appear, promotions happen, and none of that is accidental. The key is to be intentional. Don't waste this hour scrolling or consuming surface-level content. Choose your area of growth and commit to becoming world-class in it. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know a few things extremely well. And those things should be the ones that move you toward your definite major purpose. Every hour spent gaining specialized knowledge is an investment. It's not a cost, it's a multiplier. Over time, the compound effect of this focused learning will separate you from the crowd. You'll think differently, speak differently, and act with a level of insight and precision that makes success inevitable. So if you're ready to elevate your life, start by elevating what you know. Use that hour to go deep, to learn with purpose, and to turn knowledge into mastery. Because specialized knowledge applied consistently will change your reality. Success is never a solo journey. No matter how intelligent, talented, or driven you are, there's a limit to what you can achieve on your own. Napoleon Hill identified one of the most powerful principles of success as the mastermind, a group of individuals working in harmony toward a shared goal or purpose. 1 hour a day devoted to building and nurturing mastermind connections can accelerate your growth, expand your perspective, and open doors you never knew existed. When 2 or more minds come together in a spirit of collaboration, something remarkable happens. Hill described it as the creation of a third mind, an invisible force of intelligence that's greater than the sum of its parts. This energy can only be accessed when people unite with trust, mutual respect, and a commitment to growth. Surrounding yourself with a mastermind group, people who challenge, encourage, and hold you accountable, turns your journey into a powerful shared mission. During this dedicated hour, you could meet virtually or in person with your mastermind partners. You might discuss ideas, solve problems, share strategies, and listen and provide feedback. The power lies in the exchange. When you hear how others are approaching challenges, it stretches your thinking. When you share your goals out loud, they become real. When you feel stuck, someone else's insight can unlock the path forward. This hour is also about building relationships intentionally. It might mean reaching out to a mentor, networking with people in your field, or offering your time and knowledge to help someone else. Contribution is a key part of any true mastermind connection. It's not just about what you can get, it's about what you can give. The more value you bring to others, the more you build trust and earn a seat at the table of high performers. Your mastermind doesn't have to be huge. Even one or two focused, aligned individuals can transform your thinking and push you to new levels. Over time, these connections become more than professional. They become deeply personal. They become the people who believe in your vision, even when you doubt it. They become your sounding board, your partners in progress, and sometimes your lifelong allies. If you've ever felt isolated in your goals or unsure of your next steps, a mastermind can be the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Use your hour to find these people. Build those relationships. Cultivate the power of collective intelligence. Because with the right minds around you, anything becomes possible. Every great achievement begins with a decision, and every lasting success is sustained by discipline. Napoleon Hill understood that the ability to make clear decisions and follow through with consistent action is what separates dreamers from doers. In a world full of distractions and temptations, training your willpower has become not just a personal strength, but a survival skill. Dedicating one focused hour a day to sharpening your decision making and strengthening your discipline can completely reshape your habits, your confidence, and ultimately your life. The truth is, most people never reach their potential because they never decide to. They hesitate. They overthink. They wait for the perfect moment that never comes. But indecision is the enemy of progress. When you commit to using an hour a day to reflect, prioritize, and make concrete decisions about your life and goals, you begin to shift from passive to proactive. You stop letting life happen to you and start directing it with intention. Discipline is what turns those decisions into reality. It's the quiet power that shows up every day, not just when it's convenient or when motivation is high, but especially when it's not. That daily hour becomes your training ground. It's where you teach yourself that you will show up no matter how you feel. It's where you build internal trust by proving that your actions match your words. You can use this time to plan your priorities, resist distractions, and practice saying a no to the things that don't serve your greater purpose. You can journal your goals, track your habits, and build rituals that anchor your day. Over time, this kind of consistency rewires your mind. You begin to identify as someone who finishes what they start, someone who can delay gratification, someone who does the work whether the world is watching or not. This daily discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Small decisions repeated consistently have a compound effect. Each hour of disciplined effort adds up, building momentum that becomes impossible to ignore. Others may see the results and call them a lucky or a natural, but you'll know the truth. It was choice. It was discipline. E was discipline. It was the quiet hour day after day where you trained your will and sharpened your edge. In the end, success doesn't belong to the most talented or the most inspired. It belongs to those who decide and those who show up. So give yourself that hour. Make the decision. Build the discipline and become the kind of person whose actions shape their destiny. Change rarely happens overnight. Real, lasting transformation is the result of small actions repeated consistently over time. This is the essence of the compound effect, one of the most powerful forces in personal growth and success. Napoleon Hill didn't use the exact term, but the principle runs through all of his teachings. It's the idea that daily disciplines, no matter how small they seem, eventually add up to massive results. Dedicating one focused hour each day to your goals may not seem like much at first, but over time it has the power to completely change your life. The compound effect is simple in theory, but challenging in practice. Why? Because we live in a world obsessed with instant gratification. People want quick wins, fast results, overnight success, but that's not how meaningful progress works. The person who spends an hour a day learning, growing, planning, or building is often unseen at first. Their progress is quiet. But just like a seed growing underground, something powerful is taking root. If you read for 1 hour a day, you'll have read hundreds of books over a few years. If you practice a skill for an hour daily, you'll gain mastery over time. If you work out for just an hour each day, your health, energy, and confidence will transform. None of these changes happen immediately, but they all happen inevitably if you stay committed. What makes the compound effect so powerful is not just the results, it's who you become in the process. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, you're reinforcing your identity as someone who is committed, focused, and disciplined. And that identity shift is the real secret. It's what allows those results to stick. One of the biggest mistakes people make is underestimating the value of their daily choices. They think skipping 1 hour doesn't matter. That one bad habit won't hurt. That missing a day is no big deal. But the compound effect works both ways. Positive habits build momentum, but so do negative ones. Progress and failure both arrive quietly, then all at once. Trusting the compound effect means playing the long game. It means showing up daily, even when results aren't visible yet. It means believing in the power of time, repetition, and consistent action. 1 hour a day may not change your life tomorrow, but give it a month, give it a year, give it 5. And you'll look back and realize everything changed. Not because of one big leap, but because of 1,000 small steps taken with purpose.